Good afternoon. It's great to be here. There we go. So narrative science transforms data into stories and insights. And by stories, I mean news articles, business reports, tweets, texts, annotations to video, captions to photographs. Anywhere you can imagine text content, we can probably create it as long as we've got a reasonably sized and reasonably organized data set to tap into. We are a technology company, so all of the examples that I show you today, and every time we talk about creating content, it comes out via our software without any human authoring or human editing. We've got a lot of flexibility in terms of the way we create content and can alter content in terms of voice, style, and tone. In the interest of time, I'm going to skip most of the history on the company, but I thought for this group it would just be interesting to let you know that our technology actually is the product of some academic research that was conducted at Northwestern University. And in fact, an early prototype of our technology came out of a class that was jointly taught by some computer science professors and some journalism professors. And the reason that I bring this up is that while we are very much a technology company and we pitch ourselves as a technology company, there's a lot of editorial experience and a lot of editorial DNA that comes to bear that has significantly influenced and impacted the way that we have built the technology and the company. We have two kinds of customers, or two broad customer types. The first are media companies, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples of work we do for media companies. And then the second broad type would be businesses, particularly businesses who are sitting on a lot of data and need to figure out how to better monetize that data or to communicate that data more effectively to customers, employees, or other constituencies. Okay, so we do a lot of work in the finance area, and we create some content actually for Forbes. So what I just showed you was some financial information that we use in order to generate this story. This is an earnings preview. It's a typical story that you might see when a company is going to announce earnings, and this comes out about 2 or 3 days before a scheduled earnings announcement. We use historical financial information, current market data, current analyst estimates. We pull all that information together and we create a story that sounds like this. We do about 1,000 of these a quarter for Forbes. This is up from maybe a handful that they used to do on their own. And one of the really nice things about our technology is we can do this kind of story for multiple publishers, but we can customize it for their tone, voice, and style of the content that they wish, so it sounds like their publication and is unique to them. Second example I want to show is a real estate example, which is another area we do a lot of work in. This is for a B2B publisher. Our customer is Hanley Wood, data company and B2B publisher. We create market summaries, executive summaries on about 400 real estate markets around the country. Hanley Wood did these by hand. They did about 10 or so a month. It would take them a while to get these published. We do 400 of them, and it takes us about a minute or two to create all of these stories from the time we receive the data. We send it back to Hanley Wood. We've mapped it directly to their content management system, so it's a matter of minutes between the time we receive the data and the time that our content actually goes live on Builder Online. I want to switch gears for a second and talk a little bit about some of the other work we do. This is an example of some work that some prototype work that we've done for a standardized test prep company. There's about 25,000 students who are enrolled in a course. They get tests every couple of months and typically would get a numerical report that showed them how they did. This is a narrative report that shows them how they did. And you can see the difference. We talk about the performance, but importantly, we talk about what this student can do to improve his or her score. I think it's a great example of a company that's sitting on a lot of data needs to figure out how to leverage that big investment in data, and we enable that. We enable that on a very individual, one-to-one basis. Here's just a blow up a little of the language a bit. So I'm running out of time. I just want to conclude by saying that here are some other kind of areas where we are very focused. However, we're really not limited. When we started the company, we had a prototype of some technology that only built stories about baseball games. Today, we've got a horizontal platform that can cover just about any industry and just about any vertical. Thank you.
Got a question right here?
So it'd be good to know approximately how many employees you have.
We've got 28 employees. We're based in Chicago. 4 of our employees are based in New York.
The obvious question, what about copyright problems?
What about what?
Copyright.
So the way that first of all, this content is unique content. So it's original content. Every document is original. Our clients own the copyright to this work. Okay, so we're a service company, essentially, in that we provide the content to them, and then they own it. We certainly help them with the preparation. We help them with the publishing of it, but ultimately it's theirs to keep and do what they want with it. We're not a publisher.
Great. Thank you very much.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.